You're welcome, Nora. Welcome. Good morning. It's still night to some other places, and here we're already awake. So as I told you guys last time, it's here, and my working time has already changed. Hmm? So my working time has changed. I wake up. I wake up at 5 and clean and sleep at around 9 a.m. 9 a.m. I wake up at 12, prepare lunch. Yeah. So now I'm having a break until again up to 4. Go downstairs, I prepare some tea. But that's not the reason why I'm here today. Today we're going to talk about our African culture, more especially to where I grew up from. A culture, some people are this, it's like selling someone, it's like exchanging, it's not about exchanging. If you want to learn more about culture in Africa, more especially in Uganda where I grew up from, you're most welcome. Kindly join me on my live stream. Like and share. Talking about the culture. I don't know about you where you grew up from, but as a woman that I am and where I grew up from. So me, I was born in Uganda and raised in Uganda. My father is a mixed blood and my mother is also like that. They are both mixed. My grandmother, guys, in our family we don't have the bloodline that it's straight. We are always mixed up because of our culture and freedom to. Hi, Noor, how are you? I hope you're doing great. You're most welcome. Kindly like and share, and don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Thank you so much for coming. So, in Uganda, we have been given a lot of freedom, choice to marry whoever you want, as long as you're not related to that person by blood. Related by blood, it's you cannot marry someone from your mother's side, you cannot marry someone from your father's side, you cannot marry someone from your grandmother's side because you're related by blood. So we most especially we follow by blood. Hello, what's your name? I'm Nora. Babil. Hi, Babil. I'm called Nora. That's my name, and I'm from Uganda. So in our culture, what they always tell us, your cousin, you don't marry someone from your father's side, you don't marry anyone that's from your grandmother's side, you don't marry. You have a choice to marry a stranger, and that stranger is not supposed to be also from, he's not supposed to be from your clan. That's why they do a research. I'm from India. Hi, nice to meet you. How is India? I hope India is well. Well, me here, I'm in Saudi Arabia, but I'm a Ugandan living here in Saudi Arabia. So in Uganda, what they do, they ask, that's why they always, when you're dating someone, they want to know who you're dating. And then they ask you, will we have that thing of clan? So that person, if they find that he's a clan member, you might not be related from father or mother or from anyone, but if the clan, if him and you're both from the same clan, you'll not be married. Because you cannot be married to your clan member, so you have to look for someone else from another clan. So let me give you an example. Thank you guys for the thumbs up. So let me give you an example from me. I'm from East, and I'm half Ugandan and half Kenyan. So I have to get married to a Muganda, someone from central Uganda. I have to get married to someone from western Uganda. I have to get married to someone from East, but that person from East is not supposed that person must not be related to my clan. So if his clan, like we share the same thing, like let me give you, we have what we call, like our clans are animals. Like we say that you come from a family of a snake, or you come from a family of tiger, and then maybe you come from a family of raccoon, or maybe you come for those. So those are what we call the clan members. So if you're both from those things, there's what they call simanyi akabiro ngeye, simanyi what. So this, you cannot get married to those things. You cannot get married to those people because you guys are considered related. You can't get married to those people. You have to look for someone else. That's why we in Uganda, as I told you, we are free to marry whoever we want, but as long as they are not related to us. The reason why they do that, they don't want this thing of bloodline, like bloodline following. People believe that sometime when you marry into your relatives, like if you marry your cousin, maybe your, most especially people marry their cousins. You find someone is marrying his daughter's uncle, his mother's niece, like that. It's not allowed. It's not allowed. They call it abomination. And if you have babies, both of you do something behind their backs, that child will not be recognized as a family member. That child will be raised in the family, or sometime that child will be forced to be adopted by some other people, and that child must never know his background. That child must never know how he was born. Never. So they consider that child as a curse. So my dear, in Uganda, when you do something, you have to be careful. You don't just go around sleeping with any guy because you don't want the child that you give birth to be considered as a curse in the family. That's why we don't get married to our siblings. And another thing what they do, that's why they always do the blood type. They first check your blood type. If you're both having the same blood type, still no, there's no way you guys can get married. Another thing they always do, they ask you about your great guys. That's why they ask you, can we meet your parents? And then your parents meet up. If you have an elderly in the family who knows more about your family tree background, they ask that person, who are you guys and who are your great? They ask you about the generation because they want to know the thing that was in your generation. If they know something, they'll be definitely like, our child cannot get married into that family because their generation has something. You know what they call a curse? There's a curse on those people. You don't get married. People look into it. Leave alone where some people just jump into marriage, someone go and get married, and then they don't recheck their background. In Uganda, you have to make sure you check your background, where you're from, who are your family, and if there is something, they cannot allow you. And another thing that we do, like, if you're, like, for instance, me, my dad married my mom, but my mom didn't she reached a time she didn't like my dad. So they have to take back what they call dowry. So when they return your dowry as a man, if a woman returns your dowry, the woman is free to take her children because those children do not belong to you, they belong to her. But if the dowry remains, if they never return the dowry, you have a choice to have, like, you also have the custody to those children. So our dad, they return the dowry, so our dad does not have any custody towards us, and we are just his children by blood, but his things was returned to him, so he doesn't own us that much. That so in Uganda you have the freedom to do that. You can return and then you say, you and me, we have nothing. Yes, however much we have the child, the two of us, but there's nothing. But some people nowadays, because people are educated, people don't want to go through, hurting other people's feelings, because, sometimes children are innocent. So someone will be like, no, however much you've returned my dowry, I want to be able to support those kids, because those kids are innocent. They don't know the reason why we had splitted. They don't, so someone supports. It's because of the generation, they say the generation changes. But people who used to move into those backward, like long ago, we call them the Alimans, long ago, they still have that habit that a man shouldn't look into a woman's eyes. A man should greet the in-law far from away. You don't have to even to look. You don't have to see how your mother-in-law looks. Your mother-in-law has to wear long clothes, cover her entire body. You shouldn't even see your mother-in-law. That is no longer there. Some people, people have already moved. People have traveled the world. People have new experience. People are just living their life. They don't care whether you've seen me, whether you did not see me. Mother-in-law, they dress up anyhow they want. They're still fighting age. Mother-in-laws nowadays, they're like, I'm still young. Don't make me old. You, with your respect, stay where you are. They don't longer care. Back in the days, tradition used to be something that, yeah. And the culture, they were like this. You're not supposed to mess up. You have to be perfect. Like perfect. If they hear a small thing from you, if they hear anything from your family, just know that your family, you're going to be worried. Most especially if you have daughters and your family has a bad background history. They'll be like, no, our child is not going into that family. No. Who is going to get married there? Parents will insist, tell you the things that you shouldn't do. Parents will stop you from even seeing that person. And sometimes if they find out that those people, sometimes they feel even like they are not even supposed to be in the same community with them. They are not supposed to live in the same community with them. Nowadays in Uganda, the culture, I think our culture, it's more changing because people have adapted the Western culture. People live like white people. People behave like white people. The culture is now in the village, in the countryside. That's where you find people are more respectful. There are some in the city, but still adapting that behavior. It's just that we kids, we are the one who are like, mom, I don't like to do that. Mom, this, mom, that, mom, this. And your mom will also be like, my child, why do I need to bother my child so much with this culture thing? As long as they know. Nowadays, parents are more about this, that as long as my child knows that she's not supposed to be married to someone they are related to. My child knows that she's not supposed to get involved with their cousins or their uncle's children or their whatever. Even if it's your half sister, you're not supposed to get involved with them. See them as your blood sister. So parents don't worry about that because they know we walk through that. Even you, even if your cousin is so handsome, no, you can't. You want to be stoned to death. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Norah. Norah is from Uganda. Yes. So you find yourselves being the two of you should stay far away from each other. And another thing that our culture sometimes, you see, when you're married, in a certain home in Uganda, as a woman who is newly married, you're not supposed, your first food that you will cook, you'll have to cook with your in-law. It depends. If your husband is not ready to leave you, sometimes you can cook for your in-law. There's what they call first meal for your in-law. You cook for them. And as a daughter-in-law, you must not wear anything short if you're living in the same compound with your in-laws. Guys, me, that's why if I'm to get married in Uganda, I can't live in the same compound with my in-laws, because me, I want my freedom, guys. I want my freedom. I want to live anyhow I want. I want to put my legs where it's supposed to be. Everywhere has to breathe. You know, this thing of always in-laws wandering around, you're there, you cannot even have yourself time, you cannot have your you time. You want to do something with your husband, your in-laws are there. When your sisters-in-law they come, you might turn out to be their maid. You might turn out to be their maid, and if they find you that you're this simple, and sometimes that happens, even some poor people, they behave the same. I will not say that when they are poor or rich, no. You know those family, okay, the word poor it shouldn't be used, because when you have a home and you have cattle, you have animals, you're not poor, you're rich. You have a place to sleep, you have your own garden where you grow your food. So we shouldn't call those people poor. We should just call them that, what kind of name should we give such people? They have everything, but they decide to live a cheap life, but they have everything with them. So those are kind of people that live in the village. One day when I go back home in Uganda, I'll do a video for you guys and see such life. Even me, where I come from, we still have that kind of family. Like my grandfather, I have one of my granddaddies who lives in that kind of life. He has everything, but the man lives his simple life. The man does not wear a shoe. The man walks barely footed. When he is going for a visit, that's when he wears the shoes. And when he's in the car, he does not wear the shoes. He takes off the shoe. When he is getting out of the car, that's when my granddaddy will put on the shoe and hold his stick and move. So, you find yourself, you're married to a family. And when you're too soft, that's why you guys, when you get married, don't be too soft. Don't be too soft for your in-laws to take advantage of you. Have you ever seen a woman is married, but her sister, most especially these people, sisters-in-law and last-borns in the family, if they are male, you find someone is being mistreated in that way. For her, she thinks it's, by the time she realizes that they have been using when it's too late. You find family members, if your husband buys you something, your entire family members, most especially your in-laws, they want to use it. If your husband buys you perfume, they all want to wear that same perfume. If your husband buys you, let me say, a cream or a body lotion, they all want to use it. If your husband bought you a lipstick, they all want to wear it. So that's why I always say, when you get married in such places, make sure that you put some limits. Let them know that, this kind of sister-in-law that they have given us, this kind of sister-in-law is not easy. She does not allow people to go into her bedroom. Let your bedroom be your bedroom. Let them stop in the sitting room. Make sure that you unlock your bedroom all the time. And feed it to your husband. You know what you feed your husband, it's what you go, it's what both of you, if you want to last in such a marriage where people are living in a extended family where you find grandfather, mother, who everyone is there, you're all in one circle, in one pot. So when in that one pot, all of you there, make sure that you put control on your husband, this person. Control this person. Control your husband. Make sure that you teach him that even if you're married to you, we have to cook in turns. If your sisters are still home and they are not yet married, if I cook today lunch and dinner, I prepare breakfast, I do everything, the next day it's their turn to do it. Just because I'm a daughter-in-law, it does not mean that I should be the one doing it every day, every day. No, 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 no. I did not come to be your slave. Make sure that you feed someone that. Me, I've seen a lot of people because I grew up going home in the village during holidays, so I could see how people could treat their daughters-in-law. It wasn't pleasing anyway. It wasn't pleasing because you cannot make someone's daughter work like a slave and you're not paying them monthly just because in the name of marriage. And you know, Ugandan culture, when they take you to your in-laws, maybe when your in-laws are rich, when they are rich, they have money, they don't use firewood to cook, they use electricity to cook. And they use gas to cook. Hey, you know, you just know that, hey, I'm in a good family. But you go to this family where a mother-in-law, they have cows. Cows can even move into the city in the living room. Cows can even enter into the kitchen, most especially the calf, the goats. There's a certain family that you reach to where animals roam everywhere. And the house is like, you're like, wawunya. The culture thing, the moment your husband tells you you're going to live with his family, ask him for how long are we going to stay there. Because his family, they have to taste you. Are you are you going to be good to their son? I don't know why most of the time parents in Uganda, they consider more late. That's why maybe some people, they reach a time the marriage fails. Because it's more about pleasing your husband. It's more about making sure that your husband is satisfied. And then you ask yourself, how about me as a woman? However much it's a cultural thing, but how about me? How about how I feel? Am I supposed always to be entertaining someone while me, I'm not into a mood? While me, I'm not happy? But you're making sure they are telling you as a woman, and then they'll remind you that it's a cultural thing. Me, I hate to hear that word that they'll tell you in Uganda. Auntie Chava, it has been in the bloodline. It has been there before. So you also have to follow the rule. To hell the rule, I break the rule. Me, I'll break the rule. We go my way. If you respect me, I respect you. If you don't respect me, I don't respect you. One thing that I learned growing up, we are taught well, but there's where they say, just because you're respectful, it doesn't mean that you should allow people to disrespect you. That's me. I respect you, but don't think that because I respect you, you have to disrespect me because of the culture thing. You always have to remind me, I'm older than you, and you're younger. You must do as I say. Hell no. Who told you? From where I come from, yes, I was raised well, but we don't go through that. That's your way. If I come to your home, I'm your daughter-in-law. Yes, I'm your daughter-in-law, but respect me. Don't disrespect me because I'm your daughter-in-law. Whatever you say, I do. Whatever you say, I obey. No. I also have a right to speak up. I also have a right as a person to do whatever I want. I also have a right to everything. If I'm married to your son, it does not mean that he has brought a slave at home. Your son has married a wife, not a drama, not a chair, not a jerrycan, not a saucepan, not a robot. I'm a human being. I breathe. I also become ill like everyone. I become angry. I have all symptoms, the same way you have symptoms. You don't allow people to mistreat you just because it's culture. When someone tells you it's culture, tell them culture your food. Culture your food. Who told you that everything? You know when you reach a family where they tell you, stop wearing your good clothes, you give it to your young in-laws. The moment my mother finds you wearing my clothes, she will undress you. My mother does not joke. She will tell you, take off my daughter's clothes, and who gave you the right to wear her clothes? Hmm? That's why my mother always says that. You're my children. I know how I suffered with you guys. I raised you without anyone putting a single coin on you people. So if marriage fails, it does not mean you're not loved by me. I love you, my children, but I could not tolerate seeing someone's son to mistreat my children. I remember my young sister got married, the one who follows me. My mom warned her. My mom told her not to get married. She was like, no, mom, this man loves me, blah, 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 blah. She had to quit her job and go live with that man. The man took her in the village. But my mom was like, are you stupid? Have you ever seen someone who leaves the city? You leave your job because of marriage, and then you live in the village. When my sister arrived in the village, guys, this is the kind of marriage that me, when I say, God, help me, help me. Help me meet someone who will understand me, someone who respects me. Going home in the countryside, it should be when I want, but it's not a command that I should live in the countryside life. If I want to go in the countryside, that's for holidays. I want to relax. I'm tired of the noise in the city. But a man telling me, you should quit your job, go live in the countryside, all your clothes, your beautiful clothes, you have to give it to his sisters. What's that? Do even your sisters know how much those clothes cost me? That you want me to go and live in the countryside? You want me to go there and I start sharing my clothes with them? I give them my clothes, and then I start wearing clothes, and then I look like a 50-year-old woman. Most of the percentage of women in Uganda who have lived in that situation, later on when they are out of the marriage, they're like, no, I'm not going into that marriage again. I'm going to take years again without getting married, because they have learned their lesson. What someone promises you, it's not what you get. You married for love. After 1 year, you're in tears. Your husband who married you is looking to other women again, telling you you no longer please him. You're no longer good in this. You look ugly. That same person who is telling you you're looking ugly is the same person who told you not to wear makeup, no more wearing lipsticks, no more going to the salon, no more doing nails. That's why me, when a man to marry me, let's stay in the city. When we are to go to the countryside, we only go there during Christmas season. This thing of telling me that my parents want to see you, let your parents see you alone. Me, I'm not going anywhere to suffer with anyone because of culture, where they say, oh, that girl does not have manners. That girl was not raised even in a home. If I was raised in a jungle, let me behave like monkeys. At least I know a monkey jumps from one tree to another tree so that you won't catch them. No. This thing of being in a marriage and then people treat you like, me, this thing of culture. That's why you carry your things, you take them away. That's why when I'm to be married, traditionally, I want my man to give my mom cash. Like, I don't want him to bring cows. I don't want him to bring goats. No, give my mom cash. If you're to pay 30 million, pay my mom 30 million cash. Don't bother yourself carrying cows. I hear you're carrying traditional drinks. I hear you're carrying Gomesi. Give my mom cash. Let the woman enjoy the fruit of her womb. This thing of in Uganda, the culture can make you laugh. But I love the westernized culture. You can hug your in-law, but still you cannot marry your siblings. You cannot marry you cannot get married to your cousins. You cannot get married to your cousin or anyone from your mother or your father's side, or even you have sisters. You're not supposed to get married to them. You're only allowed to get married to others. Marry anywhere from any district that you want, as long as you don't share the same blood. In our culture, that if you in Uganda, this is where I am telling you guys about Uganda. I don't know about other countries. I don't know about Kenya and the way they behave. I don't know about Tanzanians. But it's similar. If you read into the history, our culture is a bit similar. When they to ask you for dowry, that's why the other day I watched a video. This white guy said to a lady, I paid you, I bought you from your parents, I paid dowry. I laughed when I was watching the video. They were arguing. These things, sometimes that's why they say remove some personal issues on social media. If you're having issues with your husband, sometimes people want followers on TikTok. So this lady recorded her husband. They were having argument, and then her husband was like, come and wash my clothes. The lady was like, I can't wash your clothes. Can't you see that I just did my nails? The man was like, hey, I paid you, I bought you from your parents, I gave them my cows, I bought you those cows. The lady was like, who told you that you bought me? You just paid my dowry. A dowry is like a token of appreciation to my parents. So I'm not your whatever you think. That if I tell you that give me some time for my nails to dry, it's not a command that I have to do everything that you want. So some people, that's where they are mistaken. Me, that's why if I'm to get married to a Westerner man, it's better off I tell him that, you know what, dude, or my dear fiancé, just because you're going to pay my mom dowry, it does not mean that you bought me. No, you did not buy me. You have paid, or you have given my parents a token of appreciation. You did not buy me from my parents. Most of Westerners, that's what they think, that if a man pays cows because they ask a lot, some people can ask you for, like, if a man is rich, can pay whatever he can. When some men, they are rich, a man loves you. Leave alone where someone is just marrying you because they want to marry, and then later on they start reminding you of what they did to you. This has also happened to so many people, but I won't say their names. I just know that it has happened to a lot. And it's not only we Africans that this thing happens to us, where you find someone is married to a gentleman, and this man is always reminding you, I bought you, I paid for this. Guys, that's part of the traditional thing. It's traditional. Tradition is, and traditional with culture is also another different thing. When they tell you tradition, you have to follow it. And the culture is where someone embraces where they are from. Like Myanmar Japazola, I have to embrace my Luo. I'm a Luo, and I have to embrace it. Everywhere I go, people have to know that this chick is a Luo by blood. And then when I go somewhere, someone is supposed to tell me that because I married you, this is how you have to behave. No, you've married me, thank you, that you did not buy me. You just paid. As I told you, it's just dowry. It's nothing more special. So I watched that video and I laughed. Something came into my mind. I was like, as I just told you, I was like, me, if I'm to marry to a white, to be someone's wife, if that person is white, that person have first to be educated about what culture means to us. That person has to know the reason and behind it, not him just coming and marry and then thinks that since I've married you, you belong to me. You do as I say. No. Mm-mm. 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 We are all equal. The only thing I have to do is to be submissive to you because I'm your wife. I have to follow the rules and the law to respect you as my husband. But as my husband, you also have to be submissive to me. You have to respect me as your wife. Just because you paid dowry does not mean that you always have to remind me, because remember, I'm also giving you something in return. I'm giving you children. I'm being there to make sure that you're okay. I'm being there to support you. I'm being there. So, well, let's be sometimes people say that, no, I paid for you. I bought you. That word of buying, that I bought you, you should stop using that word. I hate hearing people saying those things, that I bought you. No one can buy one's life. Okay? No one can buy the air that people breathe. You can't tell someone that I bought you and I even bought the air that you breathe. Mm-hmm. You shouldn't use that word to people. It's not good. Because it's our culture, respect people's culture and respect their background. Yes, you've done it, but it doesn't mean that they are your toys. Respect them. Don't wake up in the morning and tell someone, I bought you and you have to do everything I tell you to do. I did this and you have to do it my way. You see, in Uganda, there's so many differences in people. Let me say, if you're married to the Westerners, if you marry, they have what those cultural things like. Back then in Buganda Kingdom, if you marry in Buganda Kingdom, that's central Uganda. But we should just call Buganda because they don't call them Uganda. It's central Buganda. So people from the central back then, in the early 90s, as I told you, nowadays culture is more mixed with, like, people behave like whites. They no longer care about that. Back then, in the 90s, if a man marries a wife, let me say someone from central marries from east, there are some people, eastern Ugandans, who are Bagisu. If you marry a woman from Bagisu, that woman has to show her father-in-law her thighs. Like, you dance for your father-in-law wearing short clothes. Because it's their tradition, it's their culture. A woman has to dance in front of her father-in-law. The meaning of that dance, I don't know how to put it up for you yet. The meaning of that dance, when you dance, but for Baganda, it's humiliating. You can't do that. That's why Bagandas, they are so picky. They are one of the traditions in Uganda, all the culture in Uganda, that are so picky. They are so picky and respectful. They love their culture and they embrace it. That's why they don't like outsiders. They don't like outsiders getting married into, but they just do, but they don't like it. They don't like it because they have their culture. This is what their culture says. As a daughter-in-law is not supposed to do this. But Bagisu, you have to dance in front of your father-in-law. And if you give birth to a firstborn, that was way back. Your first child has to be eaten. Your first child has to be like a sacrifice. Those are the Bagisus. You dance in front of your father-in-law. That's why some people are like, that culture is so disgusting. I don't like that culture. They call them Muriasoka, like people who eat their firstborn. And in Baganda, what they used to say that they have to dedicate you to the gods. If they dedicate you to the gods, you'll be like the head priest of that family. You'll be the seer of that family. Even getting married sometimes would even be a problem to you because you were dedicated to the gods. So guys, if someone tells you that the reason why I'm not getting married I'm the head priest of our family. You might think it's a joke, but some people, their family members, they have given them without even knowing. The moment that child is born, they are like, we want that child, whether she's a male, whether she's a male, whether a female, we want, because the gods have chosen you to be there. That's why some people nowadays they are more into born again. They give their life to Christ. Because no one would want to live in that life where you're the one who has to be attacked by the spirits. You're the one who has to be doing funny things. You're the one who has, but you reach a time you're like, I'm not going to that family. I'm not going. So that's why they say, be careful. Our parents, they tell us, be careful to where you're getting married to. Because you might end up getting married to a family where they dance naked, they eat their firstborns. Your firstborn is dedicated to the gods, and that child will grow up like that. They are not witch doctors, but some of them end up being witch doctors because they have that spirit, and it's there. They call them the Simanyi Bajaja Mwanga, those traditional things, the gods. People have their own gods and they believe into them. And if you believe in those things, they take you over. They take you over. So you marry a wife and your wife is always dancing naked in front of the house and you think, no, it's the traditional thing. Her people have followed her. Village people, they have followed her. That's why they told her to undress. She's dancing naked in front of you. After a few minutes, she's back to her senses. She's not crazy, but because it's a demand, every season it has to happen. So you have to be very careful, and you have to look into where you're getting married from, who you're marrying, what kind of a person she is. You people, tradition is something else. Don't forget to like and share and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let me know, how is your culture? Tell me about it. Is it like ours? Me, I grew up in a Christian home, and we are not so traditional. That's the only thing I can say. We are not so traditional in our home. We are God-fearing people. We all decided to dedicate our lives to Christ, and we are believers. We don't believe in small gods. We believe in the Most High God. Yes, we don't go around through those traditional things where a woman has to pull, where this. Me, I thank God that in my family where I come from, sometimes even my girlfriend laughs at me. She's like, Nora, you're weird. You guys, your family, you're so weird. There are some families where girls, like there's a tribe in Uganda. They are from Capes. They are called Kapchora. If I say Capes, you may not understand. They are from Kapchora. That's eastern Uganda. Women are being circumcised. And in Buganda, that's central Uganda, women have to pull. You pull it. So me, where I come from, we don't milk the cow. We don't milk the cow because we believe that God knew me when He created me. Why should I do things that nowadays most of people are like, as I told you, tradition, and the more the world becomes more into internet, the more the internet rules the world, the more technology rules the world, the more people leave behind their culture. So you find some Bagandas are not doing it. You find some Sebeis are not doing it. They are called Sebeis because a woman has to be circumcised. And you find in Buganda, a woman is not supposed to milk the cow. Yeah, they are like, why should I milk the cow? For who? People nowadays are more into loving self-love. People have realized that I shouldn't be doing something that pleases someone else. I'm also a human. The reason why people are nowadays more embracing themselves, because we were raised in a way that your parents are preparing you to be a good wife. But we, our generation, we realize that however much you're good to someone, you can never be appreciated. Someone can never be satisfied. So people are like, why? Why do I need to milk the cow? Why do I need to be circumcised if I'm a woman? For what? Just because a man has to be happy? No way. So people nowadays, they are more mature. Like, they are not, however much they follow, they respect, but they realize that we are all equal. We all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to live with people who respect us. I shouldn't be living with someone who does not respect me. I've milked the cow, but this person is going and living with a person who did not milk the cow. I've been circumcised, and this person is running after a person who is not circumcised. Why? So people realize that I'm also a person. I should learn to love myself. I also have to be loved. So people stopped doing things that pleases men. Uganda totally changed. And me, I love it because me, I'm one of the people who want to see people happy. When people are happy, it makes me happy. That's why I always tell my sisters that if you're happy, I'm happy. Don't live in a relationship that you're not happy into. It doesn't make me happy. I'll even hate your husband. I don't want him to see anywhere near our compound. I don't like it. Sorry to say that, but when people are happy, I love seeing people happy. Whether you're not related to me, whether I'm related to you, I want to see people happy. This thing of making someone's child cry, you're being mistreated, you're being treated like a slave, you're being treated like a nobody. I'm glad that this generation, this our Gen Z, have realized that we all deserve to be happy. We all deserve to be loved. There shouldn't be one voice to be heard. We are two people. God created two people. That's a man and a woman. We are both are supposed to be heard. This thing of saying, oh, that's why I always, my girlfriend tells me, I'm sorry guys if I always talk too much about my girlfriend, but I just love her because the way she talks, she's like, and I also bring out my idea. She's like, but you know what? Sometimes I think you're right. That's what she always tells me. Sometimes I think you're right. But me, I will always tell her, you guys, you rushed. That's what I always tell her. I'm like, you guys, you rushed. Whoever told you to milk the cow definitely didn't know what was going to happen. And then I will tell her that my grandmother went into the future. I always tell my girlfriend that my grandmother went to the future to see that it's not good to milk the cow. So some of you who don't know the meaning of milking the cow, I don't know how I should put it to you, but that's why I'm calling it that. Milk the cow. You milk the cow, you pull, you pull, you pull, you pull, you pull, you pull. Murr. The cow cries on you, yet you're going to be left alone. Hey, love yourself. Kabla ya ngeli chanjo zenu, wash my towel.